We're live now. Took a little bit of time to get there. Good morning to everyone. We have the wonderful Angela Richardson of Empowered Crystals on the show today. She's always a popular guest and gives tons of value each time out. Today, she'll be sharing her knowledge and experience on some cheat codes of the universe to help you manifest your goals and dreams. These are also referred to as divine healing. Angela will also be walking you through a mini workshop live on this call. And if that's not enough, you'll undoubtedly get to see some of her handmade Reiki attuned jewellery pieces. So there's plenty to stick around for. Let's give a warm welcome to Angela Richardson, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Woo. Hello! Excited to be here.
Likewise. Do you want to see if you can share this onto your page? If you go into my profile on your Facebook, are you actually using your phone now?
I'm actually using my phone, yeah. So I'll have to come out of it, wouldn't I?
Yeah, probably. So it might not be such a good idea to do that. Then again, there is a link left on your page.
Yes, I've put a link out.
So there is one, yeah. So for those not familiar with you and your work, I just wondered if you could start by giving a little bit of background on how you got to where you are today, going from science to crystals, just to prompt you a bit.
Well, I've always had an interest in alternative medicine, spirituality, and I worked in a health shop when I was younger, and I always wanted to be in the healing world, and that sort of went into actual traditional medicine. So I became a biochemist and biomedical scientist in a hospital, was that for 20 years. And then the spirituality never went away. And then I had a dream about a quartz wrapped in silver. And I looked for this thing for ages. And it was through a moving stream. And looking back on it, it was telling me to move forward. But at the time, I thought that I needed that item, couldn't find it. And a few years later, I just suddenly stumbled across wire wrapping, and then the dream came back, and then it just blew up, the wire wrapping. I became Reiki attuned, and suddenly I was getting all these messages. We used to have this healing thing we were both at, and we used to do the practice readings on there, and I was never any good, had the Reiki attunement, and suddenly everything was accurate. And I was suddenly starting to get messages. And then eventually I was brave and went onto Etsy, set up a shop, and it just blew up, basically, just went absolutely bonkers. And I left my job within 2 years. So, yeah, I managed to get it up in healing. So basically, I've always been a fan of crystals. Love the healing properties. I've always found that they affect my moods. When I feel a crystal, it will make me feel better. And at the end of the day, whether you believe in the healing powers or not, if something makes you feel better, use it. And I combine them with jewellery, because crystals have to be within your aura for you to get those properties. And then I also Reiki attune them as well. So you get that Reiki healing that's channeled through the crystal all the time. So I get lots of people that have bought jewellery before with the healing crystals, but they just say it's on a completely different level, the energy.
Yep, I can certainly vouch for that. Having been a recipient of some of your jewellery pieces over the years, yeah, they're awesome. We'll be getting into that a little bit later on. Before we go on as well, you've been growing your YouTube channel in recent times.
Yeah.
You're doing really well with it. And I just wondered if you've got any words of encouragement, tips on how to go from building on a platform from literally nothing, from nowhere, to getting thousands of subscribers.
Yeah. What I found, and I've done a little bit of it on my channel, is that it's very different for spiritual business, a spiritual topic to grow than it is for a mainstream topic. So a food channel, a YouTube growth channel, they can do all the follow all the tips and it will perform. With spirituality, it's much harder to twist the tricks into what you need. And the main thing, and it's things that people try to hide, YouTubers, because they're embarrassed by it. And you need to grow a community. You need to go around, comment on similar videos, and follow, subscribe to them, and keep on commenting. Don't just, you know, go and comment and just expect them to follow back. But once you build a community, you can easily get to the 100 subscriber mark, the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that is the way that I think up to 1,000, that is the easiest and quickest way to grow. And it's lovely connecting to your fellow spiritual people as well. So it's just a nice way of growing. The thing that I didn't realize is that it's very different what level you are, how to grow. So from 0 to 100, you can grow very quickly by networking. 100 to 1,000, you can do the same, but you will need to work on your content. There is no way around it. Over 1,000, you have to really start working on the content, and you need to start looking and researching into how to get found in search, because that is the way. Because if YouTube doesn't want to push you, it can't stop people searching a topic and finding your video. And it's the one way that YouTube doesn't have any control over you being found, is getting good searchable topics.
Some wonderful tips there. Thank you, Angela. I know I found YouTube a struggle. I give up in the end, to be honest.
Lots of people do. 60% of people give up is the statistics, and it's only 10% get above 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I can well believe it. I found it easier on Facebook, and over another platform I'm on now as well. I'm starting to get some traction, but yeah, YouTube is like...
It is hard. It's a lot of time. It's a little bit addictive. I got a little bit obsessed.
Yeah. No, good for you. You've done really well, and credit to you. So moving on to the topic of the day, we were talking about manifesting and the law of attraction, and you've stumbled across some cheat codes of the universe, some divine healing. How did you come across this subject?
Well, I was just, you know how you're just looking around, and I love law of attraction anyway. I totally believe in it. I've manifested things over the years, and that I've always managed to manifest everything eventually, and usually through visualization, but it takes a while. I found my manifestations can take like 6 months to sometimes a couple of years if it's something big. And these Grabavoy numbers, I just saw it in when I was looking around. I thought, oh, what are they? And I went and researched, and apparently it is from a Russian psychic, and he had great success with it, and it's all to do with our energy fields. So the earth has electromagnetic field, we have it, and it's saying that if we can correct the distortions in our fields, then we can correct things in our life, albeit health, or even going to money, love, and it's just really interesting topic. It's supposed to create like an energy portal. I'm a great believer in energy portals because I use specific crystal symbols in my crystals programming, and I found them to be very powerful. So that's what really piqued my interest in this topic.
Yeah, I know a video, at least one of your videos you made on the subject has had thousands and thousands of views.
Yeah.
There's loads of people commenting underneath, gushing about the success they've had, and presumably you've had success as well using this method.
Yes, it's a lot quicker. This is what I found. I used the unexpected money code, and I literally, the next day, I got £800 in my account for a refund that I didn't even know I was due. And then a week later, I got £600 from an insurance claim that had been going through for ages, and I've completely forgotten about as well. So it's really strange how quickly it really quickens up that manifestation process. And I also used a little, because this was originally for healing, but obviously we all have our blocks, don't we, when it comes to our health and stuff, so it's variable. But I did use one for allergy, because it's this time of year, isn't it? And 6 weeks I was free of allergy symptoms. 6 weeks. And I thought, at the very least, that is pretty good result. If you could take one tablet and it cured you for 6 weeks. So I've been really impressed with the results and how quickly it works as well.
Wow. So we're going to do a little mini workshop for the viewers soon. But before we get into that, is it something that you do once, or is it something you've got to do every day? Is it something you've got to do once a week? How does it work?
Basically, I would do it by experimentation, because it all depends how many blocks that you've got. So certain people will think this isn't going to work, and it may never work for them. But if you keep an open mind, I would keep on working on it every day until you get a result, personally. And it's concentrating on it, meditating on it. I've got a meditation on YouTube where you can just sit and I do all the work for you, basically. And I would just try to, that's why I use it with crystals as well, just to try to amp up the energy of it. So I wouldn't do it once and then just forget about it, say, oh, that didn't work. I would have a bit of a better try at that. But having said that, I did do it once and it did work.
Yeah, cool. So where do you source the codes from?
Basically internet searches, and also Grabberboy wrote a very long book, but all his codes are published on the internet now because it's out of print. So you can look up all the healing codes that he used. And also other people, which is quite nice, they've channeled further numbers to add to it. So most of the money numbers, the love numbers, they've been channeled by further psychics. So you get a little bit of a different energy. So there's sometimes a few numbers for the same, well, it's usually for similar things. So you'll get something for money, and then you'll get something for immediate money, something for prosperity. But obviously they all sort of lead into the same thing, but they'll all be a different number. So what I have found is experiment. If one number doesn't work, go on to another number.
Sounds like sound advice. So do you want to talk myself and the viewers through a little mini workshop?
Yes. Right. Okay. So
pen and paper for this, or?
Yes, you do need pen and paper. I use little post-it notes. I sometimes like to, if you want to increase the power, sometimes I burn them at the end of it just to sort of release it into the universe. But today I'm going to be doing it so that we actually carry the paper around with us. The important thing to note is that you need to have the number within your aura field, because obviously we're correcting our aura electromagnetic field. So we're doing corrections within the field to try to create results. So it's no good writing the number and then leave it on the other side of the room. So we need to be carrying it around with us. So what we need to do is you need to choose a topic that you want to be working on. So I've got a few examples here. So for instance, we have financial abundance, and we have the number 318798. Now that space is as important as the numbers. So if you were writing that down, you'd put a space in it. So that is a very important part of these. If it doesn't have a space, then you write it without the numbers, without the spaces, with just the numbers. So we have a healing example here, and that is 7694044. And that is, as you see, without the spaces, which is why I use that as an example there. So once you've decided on what area you want to work with, we need to decide on the crystal if you're going down that route. You don't need to, but it just sort of amps up the energy, I found. So, for instance, if you're working with luck, it's Tiger's Eye. If you're working with money, you've got Adventuring. Money, business success, wealth, that's Citrine. If you're working for anything to do with vitality, energy boost, something like Carnelian. And general healing, I would use fluorites, majorly powerful fluorites. General manifestation, that'll be something like malachites. And then finally, love, which everybody is always interested in. It's always love and money, isn't it? And that is rose quartz. So you want to be choosing a polished stone if you're going to write the numbers on, or a little stone that you can carry in your pocket, or a piece of jewellery even. You can use all of these to program in with this. Okay. So just to have the example of love as well, that's 529 space 4361. So hopefully you'll have some sort of idea where you're going to be working on. So I'm going to choose financial abundance today, because who can't need a little bit of extra money? Everybody needs that, don't they? So with financial abundance, we are going to be using the number 318 space 798, and you need to write that down. So I'll hold this up until you've written that down. So financial abundance 318 space 798. Just to have the...
I'm just checking to see if we've got any comments, because the comments aren't coming up here for some reason. Richard Hartz, he said, hello, Danny and Angela. So thanks for being on the stream, Richard. As I say, we're not getting the comments up for here for whatever reason, but do keep them coming if you have any, please, and thank you. Sorry, Angela.
No problem at all. Shall I continue?
Please do, yes.
Lovely. So what I like to do is I like to actually write it on a crystal. So for abundance, I've written the number, and I've also written abundance on it. So you can do the same for love. You can not write it on your crystal. It's just a little Sharpie pen, permanent marker that you need for that. And it will come off with a little bit of alcohol. So a tiny little bit of vodka will actually wipe it straight off. So you're not ruining your crystal, don't worry. But that's the way I like to do it. But you can also do it without writing on it. And the next thing we are going to do is to activate. And you can either say this or write it down. And it'll be I, and you have your name. So I'll use me as an example. I, Angela, am going to activate the code for financial abundance 318798 on today, whatever day it is, and if you say the year as well. And you can write that down, or you can just say it with your code in front of you and just say it over the code. Now, this is where your crystal comes in, and either you now write it on your crystal, or you can just get your number and you can wrap it in the crystal, and you can carry that around with you in like a little organza bag in your pocket, and keep that with you for however long you need to get your results. And it's as simple as that. And basically, every time you think about the number, just get it out, have a little read of it. Financial abundance 318798, just throughout the day, whenever you remember, just to keep on trying to amp up that energy.
Easy as that, yeah.
Easy as that. It's so easy, isn't it?
Recap, please, on the name of these codes, the gravitas.
They're Grabavoy codes.
Grabavoy. Can you spell that, please?
Grabavoi. They're originally produced by Grigory Grabavoy in Russia, and people have run with it, basically. It's all based on radionics, and that's the study of the electromagnetic field of us and the Earth. And he used a machine to measure radionics, and he found certain numbers could be put near the machine to alter the fields and correct them.
Right. Right. So I've just put in the
brilliant
moving band at the bottom, Grabavoy code. So if you want to look up different ones for different aspects of your life, then you can obviously amend it as you go along. Right. Let's have a look. When you did it yourself, Angela, were you aware of any emotional upheaval as you think you were clearing the energy out? Were you aware of anything like that?
Not with the unexpected money. With the abundance, I am noticing I am getting like blocks coming up, and I'm still working through those. And it's like, oh my God, what happens if, this is just example, it's not necessarily what I'm thinking, but oh my God, what happens if I'm really successful and then I can't cope, for instance? Also what I'm finding is that I've got a lot of resistance about other people's negativity coming in as well. So yeah, it's a process, and it depends on how many blocks you've got and how long it will work. The other thing that I did forget to say is that you need to imagine a shiny sphere with the number in when you're working with the activation, and you imagine your body absorbing that. So it's probably quite a good thing to do just before you go to bed at night. Just look at your number, imagine a shiny silver sphere with the number in the middle, and imagine yourself absorbing it.
This is all on your YouTube channel as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I've got a video which is the how to manifest with Grabavoy codes, and I've also got how to activate Grabavoy codes, which is a guided meditation. So you can just sit back and I'll talk you through it. You just listen to it, and you just have to have your number and insert your number, basically.
Cool. And your YouTube channel is Empowered Crystals, is that right?
It is, yes, Empowered Crystals, yeah.
And your website is empoweredcrystals.com?
It is. You need to be careful that there's no dashes or anything. Somebody's using my name the last year, which is rather annoying. So empoweredcrystals.com, but you'll have my face on it, so you'll know it's me. My YouTube videos will be on the front, and you have my face on the bottom left-hand corner. Cool.
Do you have any of your intricate jewellery pieces to show us?
Oh, I do. I've got some new designs.
Cool.
So this is a new wire wrap Celtic cross knot type design, and that's with Angelite, and I've got it in a few different stones, and that's a pendant.
Cool.
I thought I'd go for my boho range today because it's quite popular. So I've got lovely filigree moon with a turquoise stone. Obviously all the stones are real. I always feel this is quite energetically, if I can get it into camera shot.
I know it's
hand, obviously. Yeah, so that is like a triangle pendant, but it always feels to me as though it's like creating a power around it with that triangle. So I find those quite powerful. I've got what I'm wearing on today, which is a tribal sunburst, I like to call them. Quite interesting, aren't they? I've got do lots of rings. I've got wearing my ring as well. Oh, everything's opposite, isn't it?
Yes, it's confusing when you're trying to get things in shot. Yeah.
So that's one of the rings, and I do lots of wire wrap stuff as well. So that is a celestite pendant. And what else have I got? I've got a cute little leaf wire wrap with amethyst stone, and I've got that in other stones as well. And I do lots of these little ones which are like slices, the wire wrap around it. So
what sort of price points are these pieces you've been showing us, into your price points generally?
Right, well, I've got it now, so it's free worldwide shipping for everyone. So they start from $14.95, including the shipping. And they go up to, for something like Moldavite, it gets quite expensive, which is around about the 80-90 mark for Moldavite pendants. But most of them around about the £20 mark, £25 mark, silver plated around the £15 mark. So I tried to keep everything quite reasonable.
Yeah, so talk to us a bit more about how you Reiki, well, not necessarily how you Reiki tune them, but the Reiki attunement aspect of it makes them more sort of unique and sets them apart from a lot of other handmade jewelries out there. So what is the benefit of Reiki attuned?
Well, basically, because I actually attune them to the Reiki, it will never run out. So you don't have to keep on recharging it and then it will just run out eventually. It will keep on channeling. What I've done it with intention is that crystal will keep on channeling Reiki energy from the universe through to you whenever you need it. And I've combined it with, I do a lot of research, and it's basically my hobby, my interest is my work. So I've researched this loads and loads, and because I feel energy as well, I've used loads of different things. But what I found is these angelic symbols, and I use those to program the energy of the stone, and I combine it with Reiki symbols as well. So I usually use, depending on what stone it is, because obviously I go with the properties of the stone, but I usually use 2 or 3 symbols to help empower that energy. And that's quite a lot of people, they say, and I had a spate of it last year, it's really weird, where people would message me saying my item hasn't turned up, and it would turn up literally within 10 minutes of them messaging me. And they'd say, I must have felt it, because it really was strange. And I had about 5 people over a few months, literally within 10 minutes, their item arrived in the door after they messaged me. So that's how powerful some people, when they're sensitive to energy, they pick it up. And also I've had people say that they're wearing it and heat from the item, and that's you receiving the energy. Some people don't feel it, but a lot of people do. And also, and I think this is the most lovely story I've heard, somebody bought it for their mother who was developing dementia. They bought fluorite, and fluorite is supposed to be good for dementia. I mean, I don't push the healing aspects because obviously everybody's different and there's all legal points of it, and I don't want anybody not to pursue their treatment because they think a crystal will help. But it's all a spiritual support. That's how I describe it. It's a spiritual support to your healing, whichever way you choose through traditional methods. And she gave it to her mother, and she said, I never expected anything from it. I just thought it was a nice thing to do. And she said over the last 2 weeks, she'd seen improvements in her mood, her remembering things. And she said she was just so grateful that she got her mother back, even if it's for a short amount of time. But yeah, my mother had dementia, so that one made me cry. I'll try not to cry again.
Yeah, that is a lovely story. Yeah, that is awesome. Very encouraging, very comforting for the people involved. And you also send these out, and they're beautifully boxed with a little note inside. And it's just such a lovely thing to receive in the post, a lovely gift, gift box. They're ideal for gifts or to treat yourself or to,
with lockdown, I've had loads of people sending it directly to the person, and everything. They say, oh, can it be gift wrapped? And I said, everything's gift wrapped. Because I believe if you're buying something and it's a nice luxury product, you should have it in luxury packaging. It shouldn't just be in a bit of tissue or whatever. It should be, in a box, wrapped in tissue, in an organza bag. They have a little gift leaflet explaining the properties of the stone and the jewellery care and the Reiki attunement. So it's all just like a little journey. We even put a little piece of incense into every single one so it smells beautiful as well.
Yeah, and I know you put your heart and soul and your love into your work. The feedback on your Etsy store, positive feedback is prolific, and I know any problems that do arise, which I know is not that often, but if they do arise, you treat them in a timely manner and with respect, and so you're an excellent person to do business with. And I'm biased because I've known you for years and we're friends, we're good friends, but I know that's who you are as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome. I'm going to see if there's any comments. Just one moment. Marita has said, very interesting. What crystals is best for health and abundance? Any specific?
The abundance one is citrine, and this will also be good for happiness and for boosting your energy. So it's for quite a few health reasons. Fluorite specifically is great all round deep healing. So one, depending on what you want to work with, the fluorite for the healing, and then the citrine for abundance and wealth.
Nice one. That was for you, Marisha. And we've got my mate Barry Gray saying he's gutted he missed it, but obviously you can catch the replay once we've finished this live stream. As always, keep your comments, questions coming. We can circle back after the event. If you've got value from this live stream, share it out to your network, to your friends and family. This is Angelic Richardson of Empowered Crystals, empoweredcrystals.com. You can catch a YouTube channel, which is also entitled Empowered Crystals. It is on Facebook as well, Empowered Crystals. So nice and easy to get hold of. You can see if you have gift ideas or if you want to treat yourself, then reach out. Thank you, Angela. Have you got any final closing thoughts?
Well, I just think keep positive, and it's really important just not to get weighed down. It's so easy to get weighed down with the negative, and I just think even if you don't believe in crystals, it can be that focal point of positivity that you look down on that piece of jewellery and you think, oh, that's meant to increase my wealth. And every time you look down, you'll be thinking that. And so sometimes these things can just be subtle, and you can sort of think about it logically rather than in a woo-woo way. But I find that they are worth working with.
Thank you, Angela. Thanks to all of you as on live and those catching the replay. Happy manifesting, everyone, and see you on the next one. Bye for now.